Hey, it's on October 4th, 2025. I decided let me come up on here. It's the Sabbath and talk about spiritual warfare and just like how real it is, and how we have to take accountability. We be getting ourselves into relationships, and we be getting ourselves into all type of situations, and God be warning us, sending us red flags about people, man, and we be ignoring it because we be trying to see the good in people, coming up with 101 excuses. Oh, this my family member, and we be just forgiving, and God just keep telling us over and over and over again, showing us on. I mean, God, I could speak for myself. God was literally at one point knocking me upside my head, and I still wasn't trying to hear it. I still was not trying to see it. I continue to allow people to come in my life and hurt me and stuff, and then when they hurt me, then you want to sit there and cry to God about it. And I know he like, man, get out of here with that mess, because I done showed you, I done did everything, and you still, it's this bug over here, I don't know, and I done showed you, I done did everything, and you still went back over there and did what you did, you know? And so, gotta take accountability, y'all. We seriously gotta take accountability for things we put ourselves into, and stop always trying to run to God and stuff after he already warned us, and we still decided to ignore all the warning signs because we want to do what we want to do. You know, it's sad. You know, it's really, really, really sad. But yep, that's all I want to get on here and talk about, because I had found myself back at square one a few months ago. God was like on me right before I left the country, moved out the country. God was on me. Like, I just kept feeling him like nugging me, like, anybody who know what I'm talking about, y'all understand what I'm trying to say. Like, I just kept feeling like, man, God saying, come talk to me, because I kept feeling this urge to fast. Like, I kept feeling like something just kept telling me fast. Every time you turn around, I always hear little things like fast, and I'll never fast. Like, I would try. I remember at one point in time, I want to say in July or June, I had got up to like 6 days. I fell into temptation. Then I tried again. Then it got to the point where I just gave up, and I just started chasing money. I'm like, yo, I'm about to leave this country with my kids, and then I gotta come back and have this baby. And I did what I wanted to do. And then before you know it, left the country, and all hell broke loose in my life. And then now I sit back, and I just start taking accountability. You know, I'm not blaming God or nothing. I was just sitting here talking to him, and I'm like, you know what? I know exactly where I went wrong, not you. I'm not blaming you. I'm not even blaming the person. Like, I ain't even mad at the person, because I know that God was showing me all the red signs, all the red flags about the person, and I already know how the people stay. These people stay, and I still put myself in a vulnerable situation where I could allow people to do things to me and stuff like that. And I was just like, wow. I just sit back and I just said, you know what? Instead of being bitter, instead of being hateful, instead of playing the victim, all I could do now, God, is try to get myself right. I pray for my enemies, but I gotta get myself right and get myself aligned back with you, because I know that the only way out of this is you. So it is what it is. But I wanted to come on here and I wanted to talk about it because it's real. Like, spiritual warfare is real. And in Ephesians, when it talked about we do not battle with flesh and blood, But principalities and powers and dark places and spiritual warfare and all that stuff like that, man, that is real. Like, it is so real. And like, I was sitting here, right, yesterday, and I was like thinking to myself, I said, yo, I know for a fact that God did not create me to struggle. I know God did not. Like, there's just something inside of me. There's like a fire lit inside of me. It's just something inside of me. No, it's not like I think I'm better than anybody. No, it's not like I think I'm too good or none of that. No, because I always question God and say, why me? Why do you love me? Why do you hate me? I'm a sinner. I'm like a filthy rags. But he still continues to love me. He still continues to guide, protect me, bless me with grace, mercy, and all type of things. I never understood why. But as he continued to stay with me through this journey, I realized he really do love me. And I ain't worthy of his love. I am not. I'll be the first to say I'm not worthy of it. But something deep down inside of me, like just tell me that, like, I'm headed for greatness. Like, there is a life out there that is made for me. What it is, I don't know. I got an idea because over the years, I told y'all back when I had that dream, and it all started in 2021. In 2021, remember I told y'all in January, right at the New Year's, when the New Year's hit, I was just sitting in my car and an overwhelming feeling. This was like almost 6 years ago. And I just felt like an overwhelming feeling come over me. And it was like a feeling of like something good was going to happen to me. Like something good was going to happen to me. And I just kept feeling, I just kept having this feeling. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know when it was going to happen, how it was going to happen, nothing. But I just had this overwhelming feeling that something good was going to happen to me. I remember it felt so real to the point where I just started crying. I remember I was sitting in my car in the driveway, just sitting there crying, because it felt so real, man. It felt like, I can't even explain it, man. It felt so real, that this feeling of just like goodness, of love, of abundance. I can't even explain this, y'all. I really can't even explain this. I wish somebody would, whoever see this video, if you could relate, drop down in the comments. But it was just like an overwhelming feeling of goodness coming my way. Just coming my way. And then I remember I had called my best friend. I remember this like yesterday. I called my best friend. I think she had just left a restaurant, or she was headed to a restaurant or something, but you could tell she really couldn't talk, but she was just trying to sit on the phone with me for a little bit. And I remember I was telling her, and I remember saying, like, okay, girl, I gotta go. Like, and I hung up the phone. I kept telling her, before I hung up the phone, I'm just crying, telling my God, something good gonna happen to me, something good gonna happen to me, something good gonna happen to me. But I didn't know. And I remember all she just kept saying to me was, Brittany, go fast. And at that point in my life, I had never fasted before. I had never fast before. So I said, okay, I should. And she started giving me advices about different fasts and stuff like that. And I remember I tried the Daniel fast, and I did it for 10 days or something like that. I don't know. I know it ended at the end of January. I was done. By the time I started and finished it, I was done by the end of January. And that's when February came, February 2021, the next month. And I just kept dreaming. I was having these dreams, these vivid dreams. You ever had dreams where, like, it feels so real? And I was having these dreams back to back, crazy dreams of me in the middle of the ocean, jumping off logs and at the bottom of the sea with whales, watching whales eat meal. Man, when I tell you, I had one of the dreams was this is right after the fast, all these dreams started happening. I was with my sister and her husband and his family. And we was in the middle of the ocean. In the middle of the ocean. We were standing on logs lined up. There was 2 logs. There was people standing on this log and people standing on this log. I was on the right log. And I don't forget who I was behind or who was in front of me, whatever. I don't know the order of it. I just know each person would jump in. But when it came to my turn to jump in, I just remember I went to, you know, when you dive, you jump up and then you go down. So I went to do something like that. I jumped up and I went to go down. And when I went to go down, before I can go down, when I went to jump up, a whale came up out of the ocean. A whale. Now we all know, I believe whales are the biggest animals in the world. A whale jumped up and I just remember like, I was mid-ear and I'm like, and the whale was up in the air. The whale was up in the air. And then next thing you know, he went down, I went down. We went down together. So now me and the whale is in the water, underground, in the water. And I remember standing there, like the whale was a little distance, like, you know, it wasn't up on me. The whale was just in front of me. And I'm like this, and I'm just looking at the whale, and the whale mouth open like this. When I tell you, it was like the size, like, you ever, like, okay, you see this house? You see my mama house? See the house? Let me put this back now. So you see how our house is, like, our house is tall. It was like the whale opened his mouth and could fit like a two-story house. That's how wide the whale was, just a black hole. And I remember like feeling scared because I'm like, whoa, it was, when I tell you, it was just like a big, just open my big hole. And it just sat there and ate millions of fish. It just opened its mouth and ate millions of fish. When I tell you, it was like millions of fish just came when it opened the mouth and it just closed and swam away. And I swam away. It didn't touch me. It didn't hurt me. And I swam away. And then I ended up in the house with my sister. And I don't know if I was trying to tell them or whatever, however that happened. I just don't remember. But the whale didn't hurt me. I think I was just frightened because, like, that just don't happen to people, you know? Like, that ain't stuff you normally see. And so, that dream. Then I had another dream about my brother. My brother been dead since 2018. And I had a dream. He came right to me. At first I was with his friends. These will all happen back to back. I can't remember because I didn't write them down. That's my fault, because God was on me years ago about getting into writing. And I just started like really writing dreams down, thoughts down, and stuff like that. So that's my fault. So I can't even give you the dates in order how it happened, but I know they were all back to back in February, all happening in February of 2021. And I had a dream my brother had came to me. Well, I was with his friends and they were saying, PJ's really dead now. And I'm like, PJ been dead. What? They said, no, he dead now. And I was like, so I raced home. And I had my daughter. My mother happened to be at my house, sitting on my couch. So I sit down next to her in the living room, and I'm telling her, Ma, they said PJ is dead now. He's really, really dead now. Marcus killed him. Marcus is his friend. Marcus didn't really kill him. The person who killed him is in jail. But they said Marcus killed him. But mid-sentence into telling her this, I hear boom, boom, boom at my front door. So I remember giving her Ella, because at this time, Ella was a baby. In real life, she was a baby. She was just like 3-4 months at this in real life. So in my dream, she was still a baby. I handed her over to my mother. I get up and I go and I answer the door. And when I answered the door, you know, you open the door and my brother just ran in my house. He just like came in and he was pasting, just pasting. And he was saying to me, he said, Brittany, I need $2. I need $2. And I'm like, you need $2 for what? I was so confused because we just heard he was dead. And then he popped up at the house alive, fine and well. And he's asking for $2. And so I said, you need $2 for what? And he said, I gotta play my numbers. And I kept saying to myself, huh? Me and my mom didn't say one word. My hand was still holding on to the door. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? I woke up from that dream. When I woke up from that dream, there was $2 bills in on my table. And I called my mother and I told her about the dream and stuff. And my mother like, take a picture, send me the serial number on them $2. Send me the serial number on them $2. But I knew in my heart that I don't know that didn't coincide with the dream. But I still sent it to her. She went and played the numbers or whatever. Then after I had that dream, the next dream I remember this one was March now. This is March now. These were February. This was like March now. March 17th, 2021. It's the only one I can remember the exact date. March 17th, 2021. Me, my husband, and my kids RJ was upstairs in his room. So it was just me, my husband, and Ella. We were downstairs in the living room watching a movie or something. And we must have fell asleep. And I used to have this huge sectional, and the way the sectional was in my house, it was like a L, but on the right hand side was a window. It's a huge window in the front of my house. And my husband was sleeping. The way he was sleeping was he was sleeping next to the window, and I was sleeping facing the window, like I'm laid on the couch, but I could look up and look out the window. So that's how we ended up falling asleep. We must have fell asleep mid movie. And I fell asleep, and when I fell asleep, it was almost like a out of body experience. Next thing you know, I'm still asleep though, but now I'm dreaming. But the dream was like if the flesh was on the couch, but my spirit had got up, and I was looking out the window. And when I was looking out the window, these numbers were written. Only 5 were written in the sky in gold. I woke up. I called 2 people, my mom friend Lisa and Camelia. I wrote it. Oh no. I'm moving too fast. No, I didn't call them. I told my husband. We were sitting outside. That's what happened. With that dream, I didn't call nobody. I told my husband. That morning we woke up and we was sitting outside, and I told him. And my husband, he just, his eyes smiling and stuff. I was like, I had this dream. And then after that dream, that was 2021, that year again, but I want to say this was like around August or September. I started back dreaming again, but this time I was dreaming I was somewhere, and I don't know where I was. It was a lot of people around and stuff, and there was this guy. It was a Spanish guy or something. I didn't know him. He had a blank piece of printed paper, like, blank print paper 8x10, and on this paper he had numbers written like this going across. And as I got down to like the middle of the paper, them same numbers I dreamt of, And on March 17, 2021, that same year, was highlighted. And those were the only numbers highlighted on the whole entire paper. It was highlighted and it said, will win one day. And I was like, what? I was just like, God, I was just like, what? Mind you, because I have never, ever, and God is my witness, I've never, ever prayed for money. I have never, ever prayed like, God, give me money. Like, I never prayed to hit the lotto. I never prayed, God, give me the numbers. I've never went to a psychic and asked for numbers. I never did any of that before. I used to always ask God, get me through school. I'm a worker. My dream was to become a nurse. I did that with the grace and mercy of God. I got through that. That's what I used to pray for. God, give me a good career, a good job. I don't mind going out and making an honest earning. So when I was having these dreams, I kept saying, why am I having these dreams like this? Then that whole year, 2021, I just kept having dreams of winning boatloads of money. Like, I remember I had a ticket for it was Pacific, $659 million. Then I had another dream that year. I can't remember the time, the date or nothing, but it was all this happened in 2021. I had another dream that I was with these girls years ago, before I had my first son in 2013. I used to be a dental assistant. It's before I became a nurse and all that. I used to be a dental assistant, and I used to work at a dentist's office in my hometown in Springfield. And I remember there was these girls I met there, my coworkers, who I haven't seen in years because I left my hometown 8 years ago. But I dreamed about these girls. They came back to me in a dream. I was with these girls in a dream. And one of the girls was like, she won all this money. And I remember I sat there with her. She said she won 100. She said she won 100. She thought she won $100,000. So I told her, I said, I remember in a dream, I sat there with her and I was giving her advice. I said, listen, you need to hire a lawyer, do it the right way or something like that. And just giving her advice, financial advice. Don't blow it all in one place and be smart and just things like that. But I believe she thought she won $100,000 or something like that. But when she got the check was 1.5, 1.8, 1.6 million. It was way more than what she thought. It was I'm talking way more than what she thought. And I just remember that. I remember that dream. And I remember in that dream, me and my husband we weren't even on good terms. And I remember I called him and told him about it. And I remember for some reason he wanted to be back cool with me, and he felt like I was obligated to give him something, and me and him wasn't even together. I don't know. It was a weird dream. It was a weird dream. And then I don't think I had any more after that. Besides, I would have the little dreams, winning. I mean, that whole year 2021, when I did that first, all I did was one fast. That was my first fast ever. I just kept that whole year. I just kept dreaming, winning. The next thing you know, fast forward 2022, the next year, May 25th, I decided, I said, you know what? I'm about to quit smoking. I'm going to give up meat. And I'm drinking. I said, I'm fasting from smoking. I'm fasting from drinking. And I'm fasting from meat. 90 days. I started May 25th, 2022, the next year. Only reason why I went in that fast because my mother and her friend Lisa was talking about doing no meat challenge, but they wanted to start in June, but something had told me May. Start May. It was like one day I had woke up after a hangover and I was like, nah, I'm gonna start today. I'm starting mine today. And it had so happened being May. So I started mine before then. And I remember I went in that fast. June, I have it written. I have this one written down. I think it was June 27th. June 27th, I had a dream. I was in my room. And I'm telling you, these dreams be almost like I'm awake. Like, I was sitting in my room. And, a voice, like God was talking to me. I didn't see him. I ain't gonna sit here and act like I seen him or nothing. But I just felt like it was God talking to me. He was like, let me show you something. And like, and he went behind my TV. And behind my TV was a gold statue. And I didn't know it was there. I did not know it was there. And we all know commandment number 2, thou shalt not have no grave images, heaven, earth, or the sea, no grave images. And so I remember I was pleading, like, you ever see a child right before they get in trouble and they're like, no, that was it. That's how I was. I was like, God, I didn't know it was behind there. I didn't know it was there. And he was just like, it's all right. I'm just letting you know. He didn't say it like that or nothing, but you know how it is when you be pleading with somebody like, no. And they're like, all right, chill out. And so that was it. He was like, shh, like he shut my mouth, like, shh. And he still just showed me. And it happened to be where I used to pray at. It's almost like somebody put that behind there because it was hidden behind my TV. And it just so happened to be a place where I pray as a carpet. I have like a carpet in my old house, I used to have because I had hardwood floors. So when I get on my knees, I had put just like a big floor, like when you buy them big carpets but it don't cover the whole entire floor, but just cover a section. So whenever I would get on my knees to pray, I would usually go there. I would usually go there to pray because of my knees, the hardwood floor. And it just so happened to be where the TV was. Somebody put a gold image behind the TV. And I remember God said to me, he said, don't forget about me. And then he said the last number, and he said 4. Clear as day. He said, don't forget about me. And the last number is 4. I looked up in the ceiling in my bedroom, and there was a number 4, like a light. Like if you took a light and you put maybe a 4, like the stencil, and it was just booming on top of my ceiling. Top of my ceiling 4. He was like, don't forget about me. And the last number is 4. 4. Yep. And so I used to be like chasing after. So now I had all the numbers. I was just like, God about to give me the lottery. I just know I'm about to hit the lottery because I never prayed for it. I never asked you for money. Okay, I asked you to help me get through school, get a good education, get a job. I don't mind working 16 hours a day. I mean, I ain't gonna turn down no free money now. But that's never been a thing between me and God. Like, you understand? If he can help me elevate in my career, man, that's a lottery to me. You understand? That's a lottery. To me, my dream was always to become successful, own my own clinic, do things I wanted to be, finish up my nurse practitioner and be independent. That was always my dream. That's a lotto to me. So when I had the dream, even though I know people be like, God is not with gambling, I don't know then. I had the dream, and I know I ain't never asked for it. So, so I don't know. Just like, I'm back kind of might be King Solomon. He ain't never asked for money. He asked for wisdom. God turned around and gave him money, made him the richest man in the world. But anyway, I was just chasing after that. I just knew I was going to hit. Every time I would see it, I just knew I was just going to hit, because I just felt like, I was like, yo, I'm a billion. I just felt rich. I would have dreams over the years, right? After that, that all happened in 2022. All hell broke loose. I had people coming around me, stealing, talking about me. All coming in my house, acting a fool, y'all. Everything happened to me. And didn't win, but God had got me through, man. I was blessed. I had a good career, good rewarding career. God blessed me with children, some more children. I had 2 daughters, beautiful, healthy, and I was blessed, and I was fine with that, and then I went into another fast. I went into a 40-day fast, the hardest one of them all. But I did it. I got real sick. I was vomiting like green. I was vomiting green stuff in that 40-day fast. I couldn't move. I couldn't walk. Nothing. I was sick, but I stood there and I did that fast. I started it September 10th, 2024. Quit my job, quit everything, and just stood home. And I just felt God calling me, and I just did it and dedicated 8 months. Bills paid, refrigerator filled. Mind you, I ain't got no money coming in. Quit my job, dropped out of school. I was finishing up my master's as a psychiatric nurse practitioner. Gave it up and just started fasting, praying, studying the Bible for 8 months. And when I tell you, I never got a shut-off notice. Nothing. And mind you, my husband up and left. Me and my husband got into it, and he up and left the house a week or two before I started that fast. So now it's just me and the kids in the house, and God, and it just motivated me to go hard. I quit the job, did everything, and I said, God, listen, I'm surrender. I did that that was a real surrender. And when I tell you, I didn't suffer, my kids didn't suffer. I had the most peace in my life. Man, I felt good. I was going out there walking. Y'all see the videos on here, man? I was up 4 a.m. at the gym. Bills paid. Ain't working 8 months. Bills paid. I ain't getting no child support. I ain't getting no welfare. I ain't getting nothing. Nobody was giving me money but God. Okay. It was a blessing. But anyway, started back dreaming again. Once I got in that fasting, started back dreaming again. And this time, I was in Jamaica. This is before I even decided to move to Jamaica. This is before any of this even came about. I was in Jamaica and I was on land. Lots and lots and lots. And this is, mind you, this is the second dream I had, because I think I had this other dream, I forgot to tell y'all, in 2021, where I had owned some land. I was on this land, and when I tell you the land was so large, I remember it was me and my daughter on this land, and it was a house in the middle, and I remember me and her walking. We had on some rain boots or something, and we were walking over to a little pond or something. But I was sitting looking at the land, going like this, looking around. When I tell you it was so much land, you see how right here, you see this land where my mom's house is on, this little lot. I could see we're in because you see the gate. When I tell you the land, this is the dream back in like 2021. The land was so large. From where I was standing, all four corners, I couldn't even see where it stopped. It just kept going. I would have had to keep walking in order to see where it stopped. Because from where I was standing in the dream, I couldn't even see where it stopped at. Now fast forward, 2024, I believe it was 2024, or it might have been early 2025 this year. I had another dream. This time I was in a house. It was this huge house. When I tell you the house was so huge, I remember I had hired 2 cleaning crews. It was 2 cleaning crews in my house. This how big my house was. I had 2 cleaning crews in my house, and I remember I was telling the girls how to clean the bathroom, how to do this, and how to do. The house was so big. I stepped outside while the girls was cleaning the house, right? And when I stepped outside, when I tell you the grass was so green, you see right here, you see how that light is shining on this right here, on this tree right here, the green grass right here. I mean the leaves right here in this tree. Imagine that on acres of land. I stepped outside and the grass was so green and full. It was no patches. It was no brown spots. I didn't find a blemish. Oh man, it was so green. I just remember I stepped out the house, and the house, it was just so green. And then afterwards, after I had stepped out the house, I just remember my husband was out there and he had a machete. And I remember saying, "Get me some callaloo." I said I wanted some callaloo. And I remember he cut down the callaloo. And it was only like a little bunch, but it looked so good and rich. I said, cut some more for later. And he was just cutting down vegetables and fruits and abundance. When I had like, God give me these dreams, man, and I just be like, it's just so hard for me to believe that there's nothing out there for me. When you've been dreaming for years, like me, of winning, of abundance, and of things that I never even thought in a million years, and it just come to me and they're so vivid. This house was huge, y'all. It was right in Jamaica, but once again, now this is the second dream. First dream 2021. So we talking 3 years later. I hate when you get that. 3 years later, I have another dream. I'm back in a house where it's just on, when I tell you the land in the house in the dream in 2024, it was just like hills. It was just like hills. Y'all, hills. It was like hills of this right here, the that green. You see that green, how that light hitting that green, that pretty green right there? It was just hit. I couldn't even tell you where it stopped. You know, some people, you can sit in your backyard and you can say, oh yeah, my yard in right there, right? Because you probably got a gate, or because it's clear that it stops there or something, you know. When I tell you, it was so much land, I couldn't even see where it stopped. And it was just green grass. So you know, when your grass is green like that, anybody who know about landscaping and stuff like that, and gardening and stuff like that, when your grass, or even if you're growing flowers, plants and stuff, the health of the plant is usually, you can tell by the leaf how green it is when something that has really good, rich soil, that green is vivid, it is bright, there's no blemishes. People who know. Man, when I tell you it was so green and beautiful, I stepped outside and I was like, in a dream, I remember I was on a porch, and then I started telling my husband, cut down some callaloo, cut this down, cut that down, cut me down all this food and fruits and vegetables. Oh, man. And it was just, and I looked out and it was just hills of just green grass. Blessed. And so I just know in my heart, I was just like, that right there just let me know in my heart, man, that I'm headed for greatness. How, when, I don't know, but I believe in my heart, man. And then now, right, when I sit back, and I have a few people who I listen to, like Mark the Messenger and stuff like that. And when I sit back and I listen to other people, like testimonies and stuff like that, one thing everybody have in common when they tell their testimony is it was always a struggle before the breakthrough. Always a fight. It's always like right before they get to where they going, whatever it is that God has for you. Because not everybody blessing gonna look the same. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody promotion is different. Because everybody gift, everybody purpose is different. So what is for me may not be for you. And what's for you may not be for me. But I just know one thing I have in common when I listen to other people's testimonies is before they get to where God is bringing them, they go through it. They go through fire. Excuse me. Even in the Bible, before everybody got to where they had to go, they went through something. And excuse me, bless me. And I just been feeling like my head is itching. And I just got my hair done, but I think I put too much oil in it. I caught myself trying to oil it. I need to probably go get it washed again. But I know that my breakthrough is coming. Because when I tell you, I've been going through it. I feel like I've been going through it since I decided, God, I want to get out of this broad gate. So I've been, today, it's always something going on. But lately, man, how I've been feeling, I just been feeling like drained. I've been feeling like giving up. Like I always, we go through those moments, but like this time, man, when I tell you, sometimes I just can't even talk to God. I just sit there and just cry and just tell him, you don't see this. I'm tired. I'm so tired sometimes. I was in the bed for 2 days. I said, I'm tired. Every time you turn around, God, it's like, come on, I'm tired. I said, at this point, man, I didn't even feel like, anymore. But then I think about my kids. And I said, that's not fair. But so I just hold on to it and just say, Brittany, keep holding on. Keep holding on. Keep holding on. I tell you, I'm tired, y'all. I done backslid and had to repent and just ask God to please get me out of this, man. And when I tell you it's the all-time high, I just keep hearing something just in the back of my head tell me, like, Brittany, keep going. Just keep going. Keep going. You're almost there. Where? I don't know. But I just feel like wherever it is that I'm headed to, I feel greatness. I don't know, when I close my eyes and I vision myself with peace, happiness. I could see myself like fit. I could see myself just in a zone of happiness, love, abundance. I don't know. Sometimes I vision myself, and I was talking with God yesterday. I was at the grocery store, and I said, here I am telling God I want to retire by 40 years old. I don't want to work for nobody. I don't want to be stressed out. I don't even want money. I don't even want money to be money. I want money to be like, what can I say? How can I refer something that I don't even care about? Like something that you don't think about. I don't know. Like I don't even want it to be, now our life is like, oh, we gotta pay this bill, we gotta pay. Like I don't even want those thoughts. I don't even want to care about that. Like I just want to live a life where I'm not worried about bills. I'm not worried about money. I'm not worried about nothing. Listen, I got the right people around me. I'm not worried about backstabbing. I'm not worried about conniving, envy, jealousy. I want to be surrounded by peace, love, happiness, my kids, getting up every day and what y'all want to do today? Like, let's do that. And I don't have to worry about, oh, I have to go here, I have to run here, I got to do this. But literally, like, I was listening to some guy, I don't even know who he was, but I was listening to some guy and he was talking. He said, labor, like working, people who go out there, work 9 to 5 jobs and make money. He said, that's not how you get rich. He said, wealth comes in your sleep. And I thought about that, right? And I said, that's so true. Because I was telling God, I said, God, I'm tired of trading my time for money. Like, every day you get up and leave your house and clock in, you are trading your time for money. And I'm like, God, one thing I can't get back in life is money, is time. You can get money back. You can get a car back. You can get a house back, clothes back, shoes back. All this stuff you can get back. But I can't get time back. And I was saying, God, I really want to put myself in a position where I no longer have to sell my time, because that's what we're doing. You getting up every day, you're selling your time for money. I don't want to do that. I don't want money. I told God, I said, I don't want money to control me. I don't want to chase money. I want money to chase me. I want to chase the finer things in life. Like, I want to live in my purpose. I want to help people. Like, I want to, like, I don't know, spend time in the nature. Excuse me. I want to garden. I told God I want to garden. I want to get a farm and stuff. I want to be out there with my kids with our boots on in the mud and doing things and doing stuff with my kids, climbing a tree to get some mangoes, going home, cutting up mangoes. Like, this is how I picture myself when I close my eyes. When I unplug myself from this matrix here, like, that's what I vision. Like, that's literally a vision of me with literally a smile like this, like, all the time. Dope. So dope. Then when I open my eyes, it's like reality sinks in. reality sinks in. But that's like when I see myself, I close my eyes, I always see myself like I always see myself like somewhere with my kids, sitting on a poolside, jumping in the water, on a boat, fishing, on a plane, going to Africa, looking at land, building our home, building a house in Africa, meeting the neighbors, building wells, giving people fresh water, and my kids, like, hanging out with the other kids, and just happy, like, not waking up every day chasing money, worried about money, but, get a phone call and say, oh, we just met this family, this mother, 6 kids, need some help, and just be like, all right. Not hire a team of people to go out and help people, and don't worry about nothing, man. Just living life with peace, love, happiness, and that's why I close my eyes, I see it. I was sitting here saying to myself too, I was closing my eyes, envisioning. I said, I see myself saying to God, oh, my phone thing about to die. I was saying to myself, I see myself telling God, dang, I told you I wanted to retire and become like an entrepreneur, working only for myself and stuff like that. And I had closed my eyes and I see myself telling God, man, this is a lot harder than what I thought. Like, praying, asking him to help, bring some good people to me, some good employees to help me run my business. I see expansion. Man, that was yesterday. I closed my eyes. I just seen expansion. I just seen me, like, overwhelmed. I felt me, like, really being overwhelmed, that I had to pray and ask God, man, send me this, send me that, send me an assistant, send me a property manager. It's like, send me somebody to help me, run my website. Send me somebody for this, that, so I could take off time to be with my kids, so I'm not always on call. I remember I was so blessed like that. I closed my eyes and I was so blessed that I was so overwhelmed that I had to ask God to bring me people to help me, because it was too much for me to handle. It reminded me of, I gotta hurry up because this thing about to die. Y'all remember when Jesus had told Peter, go cast the net, and Peter said, I've been out there all day, ain't nothing out there. I've been out there all night, ain't nothing out there. He said, yo, go cast that net. And he cast that net. And remember in the Bible it said it was breaking. They had to help. He had to get help to bring in all that. Man, I close my eyes, and where I see myself yesterday, I see myself on my knees praying to God, asking God, please send me people, send me a maintenance man, send me somebody an assistant, send me a property manager, send me a lawyer, send me this, send me. I just that was yesterday. I just seen it, like, I just seen me like Peter, man, like, whoa, blessing so big, I can't even take it all in by myself. That I gotta get help. Man, Peter went and cast that net. They said Peter was like, oh, they said it was breaking. That's how big my blessing is, and I feel it. I'm gonna need help. I can't run this by myself. I'm gonna need help. And the good thing is I could bless people with jobs, put other people in opportunity. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't gotta be the only one winning. But right now, I'm in that season. I stood up last night after I prayed. I went and just studied Job, man. I'm like, man, this must be that Job season, because I turn left, I turn right. I can't catch a break, man. It's always something. I just wanted to literally just listen to Job. That's how I feel, man. It's like, even when I try to lock myself in a room, even when I try to stay away from people, it's always something, yo. Like, I just be crying because I'm like, God, I don't want to argue with nobody. I don't want to fight. I really even want to wake up, man. Why is all this stuff happening to me, man? But it ain't nothing I can do but just keep praying. But when I tell you, it's so annoying. It's so annoying. Like, when you minding your business, man, trouble just finding you, man. When you don't even go, I don't even go nowhere. I'm still looking here at my mama house. If I don't work, I really don't even go nowhere. I don't bother nobody. I don't hang out. But I'll be alright. I'm gonna let y'all go. See you guys on another video. And if you're going through this, just know joy comes in the morning. You're gonna have to go through it to get to it. The problem is that let me finish end this with this. I was reading James, the book of James, and it says that patience brings perfect entirely, wanting nothing. That stuck with me. It said patience, and I might be messing it up, like paraphrasing it, but what it's saying is that patient produces perfection entirely, not half of you good, double-minded, but with patience, you have to trust God in whatever season you are in, and knowing that his hand is never off you, it's on you, and he's producing a perfect product. And about time he is done with you, he promised us in the book of James, I think it's verse 4 or 3, one of them, maybe 4. It says, you wanting nothing. By the time I'm done with you, you're going to be perfect and you're not going to want nothing. Nothing. So, that gives me hope. That gave me a lot of hope. God bless you all.